Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry from Bella Souls with
Evan from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And we're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Evan, got
Shadowcaster. Yeah, Star Wars,
this
right?
is good times, man. The old X-Wing.
Yes. Do you know whose ship this is?
I know it's from Rebels. I know there's like 4 different pilots in there.
Yes.
So I know it's also a Scum and Villainy ship too.
It's Ketso Onyos.
Onyos?
Yeah,
Onyo.
O-N-Y-O. I don't know the proper pronunciation, but yeah.
We're gonna butcher and call it Onyo.
Yes, Onyo.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Ketsu. At least Ketsu's easy.
Yeah, Ketsu.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
Ketsu.
yeah, this is her ship. Here in the X-Wing. This is Wave 9, Wave 8?
Wave 9.
Wave 9.
Wave 9
Wave
at this
9.
point.
There's so many waves now. Whoa.
Waves. But it's good times. This ship has a new mechanic with the mobile firing arc thing.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
interesting.
all new.
I mean, the Scum and Villainy like to have their ships being able to fire all different directions, so it's not...
Yeah,
it's
cool.
cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's a new big ship, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and take a look inside the new Shadowcaster. All right, Evan, we've got the Shadowcaster.
Let's do it.
You ready to do this, man? Why don't you do the honors here?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I
got to do a preview, an early unboxing of this.
Oh,
so,
did you? Okay.
I kind of know what's in here, but it's a great ship. It's really a lot of fun. The extra pilots in here are super awesome. So
you got the ship itself.
It's empty now, right?
Yeah.
So the ship. Let's show off the ship first. Why don't you pull that out, and I'll go through the rest of the stuff.
Nice. I always like the paint jobs they do on the X-Wing. It's like really well done.
Yep. I'm not gonna pull this out. This is just the base. We've seen those before. I'm gonna.
That's the bottom of it.
And there's the dial peg. We've seen that.
There's the top.
But I love the detail work they did on this. It's got a little bit of like weathering things going on, like some chip paint here and there.
Yeah, exactly. Like
a little bit of character.
Easily gone and just like painted real quick. They added some details. Like you can see the weathering down here. Looks cool. Yeah, I like it. Okay.
I love the. Go ahead and put that back in the middle there. The ship. I love the turret.
It's in space right now.
It's in space.
Dark.
It does remind me of a couple of different like amalgamations of other ships.
Yeah.
So it reminds me a little bit of some ships from Star Trek, if I'm honest.
For sure.
It has a little bit of the Defiant thing to it with the nacelles.
Yeah.
And the rounded thing. If you look at it, like if this is the front.
Oh, very Millennium Falcon. Yes.
So it's got some design elements.
I mean, it is a freighter ship, and a lot of the freighter ships in Star Wars have the same kind of like circular design. The Millennium Falcon in this one, so yeah.
I mean, it is a Scum and Villainy, so bounty hunters need to transport cargo, i.e. people.
I'm sure there are a lot of like secret hatches and whatnot inside.
Oh yeah.
So and there's missiles down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, or maybe something.
Really
I don't know.
works that well in space. But...
So here are the component list real quick. It's got a couple of new rules. This does have the tractor beam, which if you're not familiar with the tractor beam, how that all works is if you hit with the tractor beam, they get a tractor beam token, which if it's a small ship, you can then cause them to do a barrel roll using the one-ahead maneuver. Yeah. And then you can mess with them that way, or you can force them to do a boost maneuver, which is usually at you. Right. So that's cool. And it's not an action or anything like that, and you can actually cause them to slam into asteroids, which is
very cool.
Which is kind of mean, but also, hey, welcome to Star Trek.
You're fighting, you know, you're trying to kill each other.
It does have the mobile firing arc, which is a big deal. The rotate arc action is a new action that's, at this point, it's unique to this ship, obviously. Right. But that lets you actually move the firing arc, and it's.
I mean, it does have a turret on top, so I think that's their point. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, so you do have your I'll show the base off real quick. You do have your regular primary firing arc to the front, right? And you also can do the mobile thing, and it shows you which other arcs you can do. So
you can just change the arc,
right? With that, and again, it's primary and or mobile firing arc. So you can actually have that mobile firing arc overlap into the primary slot. Oh, you don't get to shoot twice, right? But there are some other effects that we'll see that kind of play into that. So that's what the mobile firing arc does. There's more to it than that. I don't want to get into all that stuff, right? This is a large ship, so they got the large ship rules there for you. Ion tokens, for instance, you have to hit it twice with ions for it to be ioned. Okay. Yeah. Big ship. Yeah. All the rules for overlapping deployment. You can't actually have it slightly out of the deployment. It happens. It does come with its own special mission, which people people tend to play just like 100-point list games.
Yeah.
But if you're ever looking for something different, check out all the little different missions they have. They're actually pretty neat.
I think most ships come with their own mission, right?
Most of the big ships definitely come with one.
Yes, okay.
And they're usually unique to whatever they do.
Right.
So this one's kind of
based off the story that they're from. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool. So I always recommend that. And then there's the dial, which we'll get a look at here in a minute, but the maneuvers and stuff like that. Actually, a pretty fast ship.
Yeah, it's pretty
maneuverable. A large ship with a 5-ahead white. Yeah. Which is pretty fast.
Only 1 red for the 5 turnaround. Yeah.
So you're not running a lot of red maneuvers on here. So
that's nice.
It's got a lot of green in the 3 spot, which is very nice. So again, this bad boy, and it's a large base, so those speeds are even more exaggerated.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's that. What do you want to look at first?
Let's look at the cards first.
Cards first. Yes. All right. Pilots or upgrades?
Let's do pilots.
Okay. Pilot cards. Here we go.
Ketsu. Okay.
Let's lay these out real quick.
Main person.
There's
Ventress. Oh.
Sabine.
Ooh.
The Shadowport Hunter. That's the generic one.
Right.
And this is a Lancer class pursuit craft. That's why it's so fast. And then there's these 2 other. This is the debris cloud and then the cargo, which we'll get into here in a second. So just kind of move these around for you. And then just because we can, let's zoom in just a touch.
There you go.
There you folks go.
Story-wise, Sabine was with Ketsu. They were in the Imperial...
You're talking Rebels now.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they were in the Imperial... I mean, this is not a spoiler or anything. They were in the Imperial Academy, and then they dropped out. They're both from Mandalore, so it makes sense that they both have cards in this. Asajj Ventress is the big baddie in Clone Wars. One of the big baddies in Clone Wars, so... Yeah. Just that you should know.
Yeah? No, I did know, but the folks at home may not have known.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, I like Rebels. I like Clone Wars, so, you know...
It's so good.
It's not news to me, but I appreciate you bringing all that up.
Of course, yeah.
What about the Shadowport Hunter? What do you know about?
Well, he is a
generic.
He's generic.
Let's talk about the ship stats real quick, and then we'll talk about the pilot abilities. Right off the bat, the ship is a 3-die primary. So it's going to be packing some heat, as it were. 2 agility, which is pretty nice for a big ship.
I mean, it's fairly expensive, that's why.
Yeah. Price-wise, it's pretty up there. You're not going to be running 4 of these in a list anytime soon.
For sure.
Probably 2 at most.
Right.
It does have 7 hull with 3 shields, so you're looking at a 10 hit point ship to take out completely, so that's something to keep in mind. And it looks like we have on each ship, you've got a crew slot and 2 illicit slots, which is kind of neat. And then some of the higher end pilots will come with an EPT, Elite Pilot Talent slot. So price-wise, they range from 33 to 38 points base. So yeah, they have a really nice action bar though. You've got the focus, you've got a target lock, you've got an evade, which...
Yeah, you've got plenty.
Yeah, and then the new mobile arc action.
Oh, that's what that... Okay, yeah.
Being able to evade with 2 dice is pretty handy.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
Especially on a large ship.
It's going to be hard to kill this if you're going against it.
Just straight up, it's just looking at it on paper, looking at it straight up, it can be pretty tough to kill. It's going to be a tough, agile ship, which is... And we saw the dial, it's fast, so definitely sneak up on you. So that's the Shadowport Hunter.
Highest pilot value is 7, and the lowest can be 2 for the Shadowport Hunter, but yeah.
Yeah, so you can Veteran Instincts that up to 9 if you want to, but it's going to be kind of up to you.
Right.
Which we want to just work that way?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, Sabine, again from Rebels, pilot skill 5. Her ability, when defending against an enemy ship inside your mobile arc at range 1 or 2, you may add 1 focus to your result to your roll.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So what's cool about that again is if they're in your mobile firing arc at 1 or 2, you just get to add the extra focus result. So if you had the focus action or a focus token generated from numerous other effects, not just the focus action.
Right.
That's basically a guaranteed hit every time.
And that's also a good aggressive thing as well.
Yeah.
Like you want to stay fighting. You don't want to
Well, this is defending.
Yes.
So
but you're going to be fighting them at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's a very good thing if you're going to be a very aggressive player. You always want to be fighting them. Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I was thrown off by the fighting, but yes. That actually adds to Sabine's survivability quite a bit because again, the focus turns into an evade automatically. It's automatic evade if you have the focus token, and don't forget you still have the evade action. So if you had a crew member or some kind of way to get yourself a focus token, or you could be very dodgy for a round. So potentially 4 4 evade results, or 5 if you're well, no, because range 1 and 2, so not 3. But yes, neat ability. Moving on, Ventress.
Yes.
You want to read that one? I can't.
At the start of the combat phase, you may choose a ship at range 1 through 2. If it is inside your mobile firing arc, assign 1 stress token to it. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So. That's actually pretty dirty.
Yeah, I mean, it's scum and villainy, so.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the stress bot? The stress bot build for Rebels.
What is it?
So the stress bot is one of the astromech droids. It's a unique astromech.
Okay.
But you can stick it on a ship, and whenever that ship causes, whenever you attack with that ship, whether you hit or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can assign a stress token to the ship you attack, and you take one too.
Is there a range to that?
I don't remember. I don't think
it's just whatever you can hit them with.
Yeah. So if you can attack them with that ship, you get the stress. So the reason that's dirty, yes, in a lot of ways, is when you give somebody stress, it doesn't necessarily limit their movement choices, but it will affect them if they want to do any actions.
Yes.
If you have a stress, you can't do an action. So that can really cut down on the action economy quite a bit. Most players, if they get a stress, will do a green maneuver next turn, and if you're familiar enough with that ship, you can kind of guess
know where they're going to go. Yeah.
And they can't do another red action. That's another big deal. So if they need to K turn and you get them with red stress, they can't.
It's another good thing about the ship. It had so many green maneuvers that it's hard for your opponent to.
Well, a lot of the maneuvers were in the 3.
Right.
And there's a lot of green.
4, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of green in that 3 slot. So it's going to be hard to peg this one down. So. And Ventress also gets an Elite Pilot talent.
Yes.
And we have a crew and 2 elicits, which we talked about earlier. So.
Yes.
And there's ways to combine that with. If you can get a stress and an ion on somebody, they're gonna have a bad turn next turn.
No, for sure, yeah.
So yeah, Ketsu over here. Can you read that one? I got a weird angle.
At the start of the combat phase, you may choose a ship at range 1. If it is inside your primary and mobile firing arcs, assign 1 tractor beam token to it.
Yes.
So that's a little more difficult to pull off, because it has to be range 1, it has to be inside both your primary and mobile firing arcs.
Right, that means if you are in the front arc here, in the primary arcs, the mobile arc's pointing that way too.
Yeah.
But it's a free tractor beam token. So keep that in mind. That's a big deal because of later on what we're going to see. But because Ketsu has a 7,
right,
and the tractor beam also lowers a ship's agility by 1 down to a minimum of 0.
Right.
So you can actually make that target much easier to hit moving forward for
definitely,
for other ships. Ketsu's a very cool support ship in that regard.
Yes.
And then there's something else we're gonna show here in a second that will make it all make a lot more sense to you. But if you got to get them in that front arc, so. And then we've got the Debris Cloud and Debris Cloud. Debris, that's the English. Debris. And then using this card, it
drops like a bomb, basically.
Basically, the Debris Cloud is actually part of the modifications. I say words good.
It will cost points, basically.
Yeah, but it's pretty cheap. But it's like an illicit cargo slot. And you can dump it out the back like a bomb, and it just creates a debris cloud that people have to fly over or deal with on the board, which is kind of cool. So, but that's it for the pilots. Was there anything else you wanted to call out here?
Not really, no. Let's take a look at the other cards.
Yeah, go ahead and slide those off. And we've got Veteran Instincts. We've got a new passenger, good old IG-88D, which is very cool. Ketsu Onyo as a pilot, or sorry, as a crew member. Lats Razzie, sorry, words are good, as a crew member. We've got the Black Market Slicer tools. We got 2 of those actually. We have the rigged cargo chute. This is where the cargo that we just talked about. We've got countermeasures. We've got gyroscopic targeting, which is pretty sweet, and then the new tactical jammer as well.
Oh.
And there's 2 tactical jammers. And then last but certainly not least is the Shadowcaster title card.
Yes.
So, sorry, the tactical jammer's not new. That's the obstruct. And that makes your large ship obstruct stuff. So we've seen that one before in previous things. I'm pretty sure the Market Slicer tools, Black Market Slicer tools.
That's not new. I've seen that.
Yeah, they've been around. That's the illicit thing. That's new.
Yes, gyroscopic targeting.
Yeah, let's start with that one. Okay. So that one reads, at the end of the combat phase, if you executed a 3, 4, or 5 speed maneuver this round, you may rotate your mobile firing arc. So that comes into play with obviously this ship.
Yes, yeah.
And it is Lancer class Pursuit Craft only modification. So that gives you the it frees up your action to be able to move your arc again for free.
Yes.
So countermeasures. I don't know if I've seen this one before in other sets, but we'll read it here. At the start of your combat phase, you may discard this card to increase your agility value by 1 until the end of the round. Then you may remove 1 enemy target lock from your ship.
Okay. And it's large ships only, so...
Yeah, which is very helpful.
Yes.
Drop in somebody's target lock. There's a lot of stuff in the games that rely on target locks, and being able to ditch one's actually pretty randomly useful.
Yes.
And you get the boost in your agility. So
pretty good.
It goes, the ship, again, very fast, very nimble, and now you get a little boost in your agility.
Yes.
So, what else we got over there?
We got the rigged cargo chutes. That only costs 1, so you're right. And it's one of the...
illicit slots.
Illicit slots, yeah. So you can for an action, you can discard this card to drop the cargo token. So I guess that's the debris.
Yeah, there's an actual. I'll show this off now. Yeah. This is the debris field.
Oh, it's a good size too.
Yeah, it's a big. It's a. I guess it'd be considered like a large obstruction. So,
yes.
And that counts as a debris field in all manner. So.
Yes. We have the Shadowcaster, which is the Lancer class Pursuit Craft only title. After you perform an attack that it hits, if the defender is inside your mobile firing arc and at range 1 through 2, you may assign the defender 1 tractor beam token. So it's very similar to what Ketsu Onyo does.
Yes.
But
it makes sense.
Yes.
Ketsu's ship was known to have a tractor beam.
Right. Yes.
And this actually applies to the rest of them, so now they all have a tractor beam as well.
Which is nice.
Which is kind of why you take this title.
Right.
This ship now has a mobile tractor beam, which is why you do that. You can combine that, obviously, quick combo, if you're just off the top of your head there, Shadowcaster plus gyroscopic targeting.
That's a good combo.
That's going to let you fly in at 3, 4, 5, so you can get pretty close really quickly.
Yes.
And then move your arc to nail them with that tractor beam token. So, yeah, you got to hit them, but...
Right.
Also, I think I mentioned this already, but the mobile arc uses the same stat line as the primary attack. So,
okay.
I'll double check real quick, but I think that it counts as a primary attack.
We also have Veteran Instincts. I don't think this is new. It's increase your pilot skill by 2.
No, that's a classic one.
Yeah. Then we have IG-88D, which is scum only. You have the pilot ability of each friendly ship within IG-2000 upgrade card in addition to your own pilot ability. So
real quick, Veteran Instinct is not new,
right?
But this one is awesome.
Yes.
If you like to fly with what's called the Brobots, the IG-2000s, their upgrade, their pilot ability also applies to you.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really cool pilot abilities that they have that overlap. So just having IG-88, and what's cool about this too is that isn't just for this ship. I mean, the aggressors are big ships or large ships, but you can put this guy in any scum faction who happen to have a crew slot. So if you wanted to run a Brobot with a different wingman or something like that, you could totally And if you play, I know some folks like to experiment with like 150 points or even epic play. That's when those ships really come in handy.
For sure, yeah.
Real quick too about the mobile firing arc. From what I can tell, it counts as the primary attack. So, so even range modifications, stuff like that. So it's basically a primary attack.
Okay, very cool. Yeah.
That means at range 1 you get the extra die. At range 3.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, keep what do we got?
Ketsu. So it's scum only, and at the start of the end phase, you may choose 1 enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 through 2. That ship does not remove its tractor beam tokens. So this ship has a lot of good ways to put tractor beam tokens on it, and then this card will also keep them on. So
this card, that's why her as a crew in some cases is actually more valuable than her as a pilot.
Yes.
This combination with Shadowcaster, gyroscopic targeting, and Ketsu, you're going to force that ship at range 1 or 2 to just have not only get a tractor beam token when you shoot them, but now they're stuck with it for another turn, and all that implies.
That's powerful.
So 1 less agility for the next round, and on top of that, it stacks.
Oh yeah.
So if you can ding them again next turn, which just got easier because they're 1 less agility. You see where I'm going with this. You're gonna load up the tractor beam tokens on the ship, and it's bad news for them. And you just got to stay relatively close to them. which isn't that hard to do. And then Lats over here, scum only. When defending, you may remove 1 stress token from the attacker to add 1 evade result to your roll. So, can I see the pilots real quick?
Yes, you may.
Now, if you remember, where was it? Not Sabine. It was Ventress. That's where that combo comes in. Give them a stress.
Oh, yeah.
Use that stress then to add an evade result to your roll. So
that's very good.
And then you can still, if you had an evade action, if you're really worried about getting shot, that's just kind of a no-brainer.
For survivability,
yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
And then Black Market Celestial Tools, that's the one that just is an action. If you're choose a stress ship, again, works really well
with
Ventress.
Yes.
And you can just possibly get an extra damage out of it. So, yeah, that's it for those cards. Let's take a look at the tokens real quick. We've kind of showed these off a little bit. There's the boards that go on the
firing arc. Yeah,
firing arc, and then so we'll flip these over to you. But that's just the tokens that come with it. That's the mobile firing arc.
Okay.
Those are the ship tiles that go on the base.
Yes.
Here's all the extra actions. This is for the fancy dial, I like to call it, the hard plastic one.
Oh yeah.
So those are for shield tokens, all that good stuff. And there's the back of the dial. There's again another look at the actual dial. And then those are the other. So we've got that's Ketsu, Ventress, and then this flips over and you get Sabine and the generic pilot.
Yes.
So, yeah. So if for some reason you wanted to run 2 ships, you'd have to get the Shadow Hunter here is on the flip side to Ventress, so you wouldn't be able to run them at the same time unless you had, I don't know. If you bought 2 Shadowcasters,
you should be able to
get, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it, man. Was there anything else we could show off here in the box?
No, it looks good. One last look at the ship. Yeah, there you go.
Very cool.
Shadowcaster.
I like it.
All right.
Let's hop out for a recap. All right, so that was the Shadowcaster expansion for X-Wing. Run the numbers real quick. Evan, what's the price point on this?
$39.95 is going to be the price point.
Cool.
It's recommended 14 and up for ages. But X-Wing itself, I think, is 2 people minimum, and then it can get up to like 6.
You can do whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So
it's super fun. It's for the X-Wing
miniatures
game from Fantasy Flight Games.
Yes.
With Disney and LucasArts and all those guys.
All those guys. Yeah.
But yeah, really cool stuff. Shadowcasters are great. New ship for the Scum and Villainy faction. But also it just has some cool upgrades in there for everybody. So especially the crew cards.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
So definitely check it out. In stores right now, Wave 9 just launched, along with all the other
Wave 9
ships.
Yeah.
So go check them out. I'm Adam here from Bell Souls.
I'm Evan from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Tabletop Spotlight brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Thanks for watching.